Hi, Jim Friedmaker, and I wanted to record a quick video to show you how I use open broadcast software, free software, to stream to YouTube and use it as my virtual for Zoom, etc. So today will just be a quick overview of topics, but I wanted to have a theme to it. So I tried to give credit where credit is due. I cannot find the original YouTube video that inspired me on this, but I'm going to continue to look for that. And I'm not streaming live right now, but I'm going to show you behind the scenes how I use Open Broadcast Software Studio to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and switch into studio mode. I wanted to start off the video talking directly to you. I'm on a big screen TV, so as you'll see, now I'm starting to shift, and I didn't want to do that right off the rip. So I wanted to talk directly to the camera initially, and we're going to be talking about 4 different things. So first, studio mode. So I have hotkeys set up. So all I need to do is on my keyboard, and the mentor that I learned about OBS from originally, he uses what's called a stream deck, where he just pushes buttons and then it talks to OBS and activates these hotkeys. Now I'm just using the keyboard, but I just want to give you a quick walkthrough of the scenes that I use typically, and that way you'll see how it is. And I'm not actually broadcasting live to YouTube right now. I want to balance out the videos that I'm doing live versus what I am recording. So I can show you behind the scenes exactly how I'm doing what I'm doing. So first, I'm going to hit a 2 on my keyboard. And on the left-hand side, you'll see. Now, if I was broadcasting live, this would not be there yet. I would have to drag it off here. Show you what that looks like. Okay, now, then it replaces it with the scene. So that's how I'm doing it. So for speed, I'm not going to drag it across every time because I'm not live streaming to the channel. So I'm just recording how I'm doing things. So I did a 2 to get that one. I'll do it again. And then I'll do a 5. And where it says configure Camo Studio, that's where I have my iPhone hooked up. So I actually have my iPhone serving as an alternate webcam. Different view. So that is not in place at this time. Just wanted to do a quick video to give you an overview about things. But I'm using these things called hotkeys in OBS. Now I'm going to hit an 8, and it shows whatever is on my screen. So I'm going to drag this off a little bit towards my second screen, and you now see, hey, I've got some notes here. So Open Broadcaster Studio mode gives you a little preview window. The hotkeys is how I'm switching between the scenes. And then the main topic of this video is how can I communicate, and this is where I picked up the idea from that YouTube channel, how can I communicate without actually going off mute? So at 8 o'clock tonight, I'm going to be on a marketing mastermind that I'm on every week called Fast Track. His name is Marlon Sanders, and what he does is take old school marketing immersion and applies it to the digital age. So that's what his specialty is. So, but oftentimes he'll ask, hey, does that make sense? Whatever. And rather than go off mute and switch through and say, yes, that makes sense, and no, I don't have any questions, that idea, I've set up some hotkeys to walk me through that. So I'm going to continue to show you a few more scenes, and you'll see this on the left. So again, I'm not going to drag it off to the right. So I'll just hit a 1. And if I want to go off camera and I just have my Facebook profile photo there, that's a 1. A 4 is the scene that I don't have set up. That's the iPhone. So all you're going to see is the big thing. But normally you would see my picture there from broadcast from the iPhone. And then a 7 is how I started the video, is a full screen. Now I'm looking off a little bit now. I'm not looking directly at the camera, so you see me doing one of these maneuvers as I do that. So that's why I wanted to start off exactly talking right to the camera like I'm doing right now. I can either look, it's a big screen TV, I can either look and see what I see off to my left, or I can start talking right into the camera. So, okay, so we talked about hotkeys. That's how I'm doing these things. And then I'm going to show you three more, just real quick. So we have a 9 that says the word yes, a 6 that says the word done. So if he has an assignment for us, we're brainstorming a project, and he wants to know when we're done, we type it in chat, but also there's a visual reference there. And then no, I don't have any questions, that idea. So those are the topics. So I'm going to go back to the view, have that in both my preview and my, what I call the test business card. So now what I want to show you is, I'm going to drag this off to the right again a little bit. I've shown you the basics, but now I'm going to deep dive into how I answer questions visually without unmuting my microphone. Okay. So make this large. Now, if I take it off of studio mode, if I were broadcasting live, this would be the exclusive thing. So you get a little preview, you get a chance to take a look and how that looks. But if I were broadcasting live, as soon as I hit the hotkey, that's what it would be streaming. My screen 1. In this case, I'm showing you the background. So that's what it would actually be sending out to YouTube right now. So back to 2. Okay, so now over on the left are these things called scenes, and I got a bunch of them. In my next video, I'm going to talk in more detail about one of the topics. The last thing we talk about today, just give you a brief overview, introduction to the topic, and then I will do a deeper dive and tell you lessons learned about that. And then within each scene, you have sources. Okay, I have my microphone, I have my webcam, I have this turned off, but that would be how I would broadcast my iPhone instead to there. Now I'm just turning it off again. Okay, so we've used hotkeys, and we continue to do these things. So now, what has been amazing to me is in the YouTube video that I can't find. I've known this for more than 2 months, so that's the limit of how far back I can go to Google Chrome to know my history. I've attempted to do a search. So it's been more than 2 months that I've been doing this technique. And what I've been doing is I've been doing the following. So I'm going to hit Alt-Y. And what it does is it gives a yes, and then it goes right back to my previous scene. And that's accomplished through what's called the advanced scene switcher. Now, that'll be a topic for another day, but that's how I'm doing it. Is like what he did is he went back to always one scene. I wanted to go back, whatever I was doing before, go right back there. So if I was on a particular screen, show yes for a few seconds and then go right back to the thing. So that's what I've been doing. So this past week, I've got an enhancement of what's going on. So now what I did Alt-Y to get that, and I could do Alt-N and show you the no, but I'm not going to take the time to do that. So what I want to show you instead is Control-Y. Now Control-Y will sit there with a yes until I hit Control-Y again to take it off. And predictably, Control-N, there's my no, and Control-D is done. Okay, so that is how I am using, how I can visually show an answer. If someone was watching, and let's say they had 1,000 people on their YouTube, maybe they're not seeing my answer because it's too large. But the cozy group is where we're at, and that's what the premise of that original YouTube inspiration was for me. And then I immediately wanted to take it further than what that gentleman taught me. But he did absolutely give me the idea about, hey, you don't have to go off mute. You can just answer, and because he used the example of what happens when someone, can you hear me, and then everyone chimes in. Yes, oh, it's a little fuzzy, or whatever, and then everything gets all all together. So this is just another way of communicating. So the last topic that I'm going to introduce, and I'll do the next video will be a much bigger, deeper dive into everything I know about the topic, but it's called nested scenes. Okay, so what that does, I've actually set these up. See that over here where I've got NS, yes, no, done. I'm going to show you that in a moment, but that's a nested scene, NS. Okay. And what nested scenes allow you to do is embed scenes within other scenes. I'm going to find that over here and show you exactly what that looks like. So when I go here, NS, yes, no, and of course it went black because I've actually switched to that scene now. But what that allowed me to do is within all these items, so let me show you. Okay, anyway, so if I put an eyeball here, you'll see the done. Now there's nothing behind it, but just to show you what it is. So this is called a nested scene, where you take a scene and you put it into whatever is on the screen. So now I can't switch back there or go right back to black. So all I'm going to do is show you that, okay, here's my Control Y, here's my Control N, here's my Control D. And here, when I first set this up, just to show you, get that off the screen. So when I first set it up, I actually had yes and no. Here's the no. Okay, what does the no look like? Okay, well, it just has the word text and no in it, right? But what embedded or nested scenes allow you to do is make your scenes and sources simpler. Okay, so I'm going to switch back to 7. Okay, and you see that all I have here is my USB logic cam, USB cam, and my NS yes, no, or done. So I don't have to have every scene and every source out there all say yes, no, done, or try to find it over here, or hit a hotkey, or whatever. I can have that embedded right here, and it will display. That concept will be much better explained in a fun way in the next video about how I started from scratch. I started totally from scratch and took everything I knew about OBS and applied it to nested scenes. And this video is just about an introduction because you may have never heard of nested scenes. Maybe you've heard of them. Maybe I've given you some ideas that you haven't thought of. But that allows you to have simpler scenes and sources, and then I can include that everywhere. So I'm going to switch to a scene. I'm going to drag this off just to show you, because you've been seeing OBS. So I'm going to drag that off to my second screen. Now what I'm going to show you is I'm going to show you 8, which is actually showing you my screen. So drag that off a little bit. So here, I'm looking at my second screen now, so I'm not looking directly at you. So as you see here, I've got it highlighted, and we're talking about nested scenes, scenes within scenes. Okay. So now I'm going to hit Control Y, and I did this intentionally to show you what happened. Why is that not working? I don't have the scene set up. Now, of course, I did that intentionally. But let me show you. I'm going to add this, show you how simple this can be. Rather than add yes, no, whatever, or try to find it over here or use a hotkey, let me show you how simple this is to use nested scenes. So I'm going to click plus here on source, and I'm going to bring it back just so that you see the demo. So drag this back. Make it large just so you can see exactly how to do your own nested scenes. So, I've already shown you the components. I'm going to turn that back off. And then I'm going to switch back to 8, which a moment ago showed you my notes. So there's a little portion of it. But I'm going to show you exactly how simple this is. So I'm going to click on sources. And I'm going to add a scene. And you see all the scenes that I've already added here, but I'm going to scroll down to a very specific one, the NS, nested scene, yes, no, done overlay. Now watch. Now a second ago, I could not, on this scene, I could not hit Control Y and make it work because I didn't have this enabled. Now watch. Control Y. Boom, there it is. Control N. Control D. I'm going to go back in studio mode so you can see the effect. Okay. Now that's only because you see this crazy Alice in Wonderland effect because I'm actually showing you the thing. So I'm going to drag that off again because I've already shown you how exactly the nested scene is. It's just a scene within a scene. Okay. And then I'm going to hit Control Y. Control N. And Control D. Okay. Now I saw those on the left. Now if I was live streaming, you would actually see the effect, but I just wanted to show you that's all you have to do to get it set up. So I'm going to drag it back. You see a little portion of it over here. So now just the Control Y stays on there, and it's only because this scene within a scene effect that you're seeing. Yes, 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 yes. That idea. So now, of course, I can do done right in the middle and no. So that's why I have to turn them off. So yes, no, done. But that right here was the trick, is when I intentionally left it out of this scene, and this is my screen one, then I knew I could add that very quickly and show you the power of nested scenes and what that will do for you. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video, and I'll see you on the next one, and you'll actually see a practical effect in a fun, very fun way. I think you'll enjoy it, about what I've been able to accomplish starting from scratch with nothing, no scenes, no sources, and exactly why I'm able to do and when not to use nested scenes. I'll show an example of that as well. Have a great one. Thanks.